Hello, welcome back to the channel, Bright Road to Success, where we make learning easy. So I've been getting a lot of questions about students being able to find elapsed time on a number line. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So let's read our question here. It says, an after-school program starts at 3:34 p.m. If it ends at 5:40 p.m., how long does it last? Now, when we think about elapsed time, that's the time between when an event starts and when the event ends. So let's go ahead and use our strategy of cubes in order to figure out what this elapsed time is. So the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and we're going to do what we know the C stands for, which is to actually circle the important numbers or the times. Here we have an event that begins at 3:34 p.m. and then it ends at 5:45 p.m. So we just took care of the C. The U is underline the question. And I'll change the color here. The question is, if it ends at 5:45 p.m., how long does it last? The B stands for boxing any action words. I don't particularly see any action words, so we'll just line through it. And then the E means to evaluate the question. We want to make sure that we're understanding what the question is asking us to do. Well, we know that there's a program that begins at a certain time, so we're going to go ahead and draw our number line. Okay, so we know that the program begins at 3:34 p.m. So we're going to write that on the left. And we also know that the program ends at 5:45 p.m. So we're going to write that on the right. And the question is, well, how long does it last? Or what is the elapsed time? The time between when it begins and when it ends. Now, if these two times, if you had the hours that were the same, you could simply just subtract the minutes. But since this starts at 3:34 and this ends at 5:45, you can't just subtract the minutes, or at least it's too difficult to do that. So that's a reason why we use the number line. So here we go. The next thing we're going to do, and by the way, I'm going to go ahead and mark out the E. So the next thing we're going to do, of course, is to solve this. And we're going to first find a friendly number. Our friendly numbers are numbers that end in a 5 or a 0. In other words, in the ones place, it's either a 5 or a 0. That way, when we start adding on times, we can add on by 5s or 10s, which is just easier to count than other numbers. So here we go. We're going to find our first friendly number. If we're at 3:34, well, if we simply jump, and I bet you can guess it, yeah, if we jump 1 minute, that will put us at 3:35 p.m. So now that we have our friendly number here, 3:35, we can go ahead and take a look at the end time and begin to jump. Now, again, we can jump by 5s, by 10s, minutes, or I should say, and because this hour is a 5 and we're at 3, the first thing we can do is to go ahead and jump by an hour. So let's go ahead and do that. Or when I say jump, I mean add on a time frame. So if we're at 3:34 and I add 1 hour, the new time would be 4:35. Okay. So again, if we're at 3:35 and I add on 1 hour to 3:35, it becomes 4:35. Now that's not quite at 5:45, so we got to do some more jumping. Well, let's see if maybe we can jump another hour. If I jump or add on another hour, that would give me the new time of 5:35 p.m. But I'm still not to 5:45. But this time, of course, I can't jump an hour because that would be 6:35, and I'm only trying to get to 5:45. So if I think about the minutes, 3:35, and how many minutes I can add on to get to 4:35, I know that I can simply add on 10 minutes, and that would bring me to our end point, which is 5:45. Now what we have to do is to simply add up the time that's between the start time of 3:34 and the end time 3:34 p.m. and the end time of 5:45 p.m. So here we go. I like to start with the amount of time that is the greatest. So I'm going to start with the hours. So here we have 1 hour, 2 hours. I don't have any more hours, so I'm just going to go ahead and first put here 2 hours. And then I'll go ahead and add 10 minutes plus 1 minute is 11 minutes. So there you have it. The question again was, if it ends at 5:45 p.m., how long does it last? Well, we know that the after school program lasts 2 hours and 11 minutes. All right, so we can go ahead now and line through the S because we've solved it. We'll put a check mark here, and we even got our friendly numbers when it was necessary. There you have it. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel, click the bell and the like button, put any comments you might have in the comment section, such as, did you think it was easy, too difficult, or are there any questions that